Welcome to Level Up Tribes. Level Up Tribes provides resources to help you attain the necessary resources to level up your mind, body, and soul and realize your full potential. It is about exploring, learning, providing you with the tools from the experts for you to create a better version of yourself. I am your host, Agnes Goodwine, and welcome, Tribes. Today's special guest is Cassie May, a plant-based nutritionist coach from Roseburg, Oregon, whose mission is to inspire, motivate, and energize. 5 years ago, Cassie had ulcers lining her large intestines. She was really sick, couldn't keep anything down. She was cranky and suffered from constant abdominal pain. After many doctor's visits and tests, and at some point doctors telling her it was all in her head, she changed her diet to a vegan plant-based lifestyle and feels better than she ever felt before. Cassie is here to teach us how to level up our nutrition and the way we think about food. In addition to being a nutritionist coach, Cassie is an avid skateboarder and is in the process of converting a school bus into a stunning home with her husband and children. Apparently, hacking an old yellow school bus is called schoolies. And she's here to tell us all about that process and so much more.
How are you, my love?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. God, is it cold over there? You got the hat on?
It's because I have short hair.
It's grown since I last saw you.
Oh, yeah. This afro is getting out of control, man.
I know.
It's just because my hair, it is cold here, but it's Oregon, so it's kind of always cold, but, I mean, I'm wearing a tank top, too, so it's weird.
Yeah. Are you in the bus?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, my God. It's coming together really nice. And that's the kitchen.
My couch. Yeah, that's the kitchen. This is my couch I just did.
Nice.
This couch goes all the way around. The kitchen. Walk through here. Walk through here. Kitchen.
Wow.
I broke my hand Sunday, so.
What? How?
Skateboarding.
Girl. And that's
Coming along.
That's for the kids, right?
Yeah. Did this part last night. Bedroom. The bedroom is not a bedroom right now. It's just a space right now. Yeah, and so I can't put on my makeup, and I can't do all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even get dressed. I can't,
Yeah.
I can't put my makeup on with this hand.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's just been
So
interesting.
you have a cast?
I have this cast for right now. It's hard.
Okay.
It's a splint.
Okay.
It's hard. I don't get a cast on unless, so it's fractured. My wrist is fractured in multiple places. They don't know if they're going to give me a hard cast or not. Because
Welcome to Level Up Tribes podcast. I'm so excited to have you here. So I want to go ahead and dive in and talk about your journey to a plant-based lifestyle and how that started off for you.
I started plant-based when I was 28 years old. I'm 33 now, so a couple years ago. And I got really sick. I was like 109 pounds, and I'm 127 pounds, just to put that in perspective right now.
Right. You're small.
And, I'm a little person. And so I was down to 109 pounds. My body wasn't absorbing nutrition because part of my large intestine had hardened. And I had ulcers lining my large intestine to the top part of the beginning of your colon. And, I was really sick. I was going in and out of the hospital. And before they found the ulcers, doctors were trying to tell me it was in my head. I was sick. It was in my head. When I went to the ER room, and there was a doctor I'd never seen there before in the ER, and I'd been in the ER a lot, and he said, I'm not letting you leave here till I find out what's wrong. And I was like, oh my God, I never heard that before.
Yeah.
So he found out what was wrong. He was so great, and he did what he knew he could do, which was find the ulcers and give me some medication to help me until I could see specialists and whatnot.
Okay.
And so I did. They put me on medication, though. And then I started having anxiety and depression because of all of the weight I had lost. And, the pills were making me feel real funny.
Yeah.
And she put me on depression and anxiety meds on top of the meds that I was already on. And for 6 months, I don't remember my life.
Oh, my goodness. Because of the medication? Because of the
Yeah.
medication?
Everything is foggy. People will be like, oh, remember that? And I'll be like, no. Because the reality is I wasn't there. My cousin, Laura, actually stayed with me at my house and then lived 2 houses down. No, but she'd stay at my house with me.
Yeah.
And she took care of me. She did my laundry. She cooked dinner. I mean, I don't know if I could have made it without my cousin Laura, to be completely honest, because she did everything for me. And it was a huge deal for me. It was a huge deal for me.
So you couldn't eat anything? You couldn't keep anything down?
Oh, and if I did keep it down, though, I could keep some stuff down if I was lucky. But that night, I would be in so much pain. Like, my stomach and my abdomen would hurt so bad, I would puke because of the pain. And I wouldn't even puke the food up because it'd been in there for so long. You know, it's already past that point of me puking it up.
Yeah.
And I would just be so sick and just in so much pain. I'd be crying. I heard 2 of my friends say outside my bathroom door once, I feel so bad for Cassie. I can't believe she has to keep going through this. And at that point, I knew, oh my God, I'm not getting better. I'm getting worse.
Right.
And that night, I did not take any of my meds. I took all my meds at night. And I took no meds at night. I woke up the next morning crying, like, the sun is shining. There are birds chirping, and it was like the first time in months I'd realized, is it springtime or summertime?
Right.
And then I thought, oh my God, girl, you don't even know what month it is. What's wrong with you? Where have you been?
Right.
Check out.
Yeah.
Check out.
So when was it that you was like, okay, I have to do something?
That morning I cried and I looked out my window and I thought, this cannot be what life is about. This cannot be the answer. There are other people going through this. This can't be the answer.
Right.
I can't be the only one. 7 billion people on this planet. There's no way I'm the only one.
Right.
So I went online and I just started researching, and the vegan diet, vegan lifestyle came up, and it wasn't plant-based that many years ago.
Yeah. Plant-based,
the word plant-based has grown immensely in the last 5 years, 4 years. Crazy, 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 because for so long, it's been vegan. I'm a vegan, right? And I don't buy things to harm animals because that's just who I am now. But back then, I didn't know that that's really what it meant because I was ignorant to the word. I was ignorant to the lifestyle. And now I use plant-based because that's what it is. I have a plant-based diet. I do try to live a vegan lifestyle, but I'm a plant-based diet now. Lots of research.
Can you explain, especially for me, because I really don't know, what's the difference between the two?
A vegan is someone who doesn't harm animals or anything in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
They don't buy anything that's made by animals, that has any kind of animal in it. They don't sleep with, down feathered pillows or anything they don't use anything that could harm an animal. Okay. They don't eat honey. It's very serious. Nothing that involves the harming of any animal.
Wow. That's
a vegan. A plant-based diet, though, is where you just don't ingest any type of animal products. Mm-hmm. So I don't eat any animal products. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat anything kind of dairy. Don't eat meat. We don't eat anything that has any type of animal processed food in it, or proteins, as some people like to say.
And I know you mentioned that you didn't know anyone that was following such a diet. How did you start off? Like baby steps? And then you just kind of grew from that level?
No, I am a go big or go home kind of girl. No way did I take baby steps. I researched the crap out of it for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, a while. It was a while because it was spring, summertime. Well, I didn't even go vegan till December because I had to go through all the withdrawals from all my medication.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, that's enough to put somebody through some serious issues right there. So I had to wait until I got my mind back and my mind right from being on all those meds. And once I did, though, I started really researching. I started writing down. I started going over notes that I'd already been researching. And I watched this documentary called Racing Extinction. And I was like, oh my God. I was crying because it was like all this stuff that they throw out there. It's crazy. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's not true, because I do believe in that documentary. I believe everything they said, but it was like the realization of what was really happening in our world. And then all of my health issues was like, oh my gosh. So what am I doing?
So what is it about exactly? Like the documentary?
Racing Extinction is about animals that are going extinct because of human activities. Okay. That's a very short version of what the movie is about, but it is the best movie. It's not a movie, it's a documentary. It's one of the best documentaries I think that are out there, besides the new one that just came out called The Game Changer. Okay. And that is more about plant-based diet and what it does physically for our bodies, especially athletes or people that are really athletic like myself. So. Okay.
Now, with that being said, can you talk about, now that you're a vegan and someone that wants to follow a plant-based diet, what does that do to the body? Like, what can we expect if you change that?
I think the expectations of what's going to happen or what you can expect is different for every single person, because we're all bio individuals. But I can tell you what I experienced and what I know a lot of people do experience. Okay. Even though it is different for everyone, you experience heavy withdrawals from sugar and stuff like that because of the processed food that you eat. There's so much processed food out there that has dairy products in it or has cow fat in it. You would not believe a Twinkie has cow fat in it. What? A Twinkie blows my mind. Literally blows my mind. So, first of all, for me especially, I love Twinkies. I'm not going to try and lie. I love Twinkies. I don't eat Twinkies now. Right. But back in the day, I'll eat a box of Twinkies. My friend, her name's Candy, she'll tell you right now, I used to eat Twinkies and put the wrappers underneath my seat of my car. That's how serious I was about my Twinkies.
God. Like, I never liked them.
What?
No.
Well, they're terrible for you, so don't eat them now. But I would not recommend it to any of my clients. However, I was obsessed with Twinkies. So the sugar withdrawal for me, personally, had to be the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And the withdrawals make you cranky. They make you emotionally unstable. Right. It's crazy, and your body's detoxing. So your body goes through a lot. You're in the bathroom a lot, which is, normal when you start kind of detoxing your body of that serious. Serious of a level.
I love sugar, and I know I stopped drinking soda, but I actually had one the other day. I haven't had one in a while, and it's so hard to do because everything has sugar.
Yeah. But when you eat the right sugar, your body knows what to do with it, right? So if I ate an apple, it has sugar in it, natural sugar. My body has like a little barcode reader, and it goes, beep, that's an apple. I know exactly what to do with that sugar, and I know exactly what to do with the vitamins that are in that apple. Now watch me eat a Twinkie. My body's like trying to find the barcode, like, what the is this? What is this? Right. So then it takes it and it tries to digest it. It really does, because that's what it's really trying to do. But then it ends up storing it as fat in your body because it doesn't really know how to digest that because it's not real food. Mm-hmm. When you eat real food, your body reacts good and it can digest it. When you don't eat real food, though, your body doesn't know what to do with it.
Right. So what do you recommend, like, do I just go cold turkey?
I would, unless you have a type A personality.
I don't.
Which is me. Do not cold turkey anything.
Right.
Because the reality is my personality is fight through it until I get it right. And that's just my personality. But if you do not have a type A personality, baby steps are the best way to go. And most my clients don't have a type A personality.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Because baby stepping is okay. That's totally fine and totally normal. What I did was not normal. That's not normal.
Yeah.
People don't just be like, I think I'm going to wake up and I'm just going to only eat plants for the rest of my life. I'm going to quit eating everything else.
Right.
That's not what happens. Most people wake up and go, I think I have a hard time digesting dairy.
Okay.
So then they cut dairy out, right?
Okay.
And then they say, well, I don't think that was it. I think I'm going to cut out gluten, right? And then they cut out gluten, although gluten is plant-based. I'm just saying they cut out the gluten in baby steps, right? And then they're like, nope, that's not it. I'm going to cut out red meat. So if you wanted to start out on a plant-based diet, my suggestion would be pick whatever bothers you most.
Okay.
My thing was sugar. I ate a lot of sugar, a lot of processed foods.
Yeah.
Just in general I mean, like, the craziest processed food, like a Twinkie.
Oh, my God.
That's why it lasts in a landfill for so long, because it's yeah. So, I would think that, if anybody wanted to start, just pick what's bothering. I don't want to eat meat. Okay, become a vegetarian. That's a great step.
Okay.
But there are other types of vegetarians that you can become. If you're a lacto-vegetarian, you're a vegetarian, you're, what is the egg one? I didn't go through all these steps, so sometimes it's hard for me to remember.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot.
The ovo-vegetarian.
I've never heard of that one.
So, yeah, ovo-vegetarian is like where you don't eat meat and you don't drink dairy, but you eat eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you're a lacto-vegetarian, which means you don't eat meat and you don't eat eggs, but you eat dairy. So different types of vegetarians, but starting off in baby steps, I would just start by, I think I'm going to cut out blank, whatever it is, dairy, meat, or maybe the eggs. Eggs seem to be pretty easy for people, especially like oatmeal or I like smoothies in the morning.
Well, I've heard that people have cut out milk products because of eczema. Is that true? Have you heard that?
That's absolutely a real thing. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a real thing. I have eczema. When I cut mine out, my skin immediately cleared up. It was it's crazy what your skin does. Dairy's so processed.
Right.
It's really processed. And it's gross. It's got a lot of nasty stuff. People do not want to know what's in it, and that's why they keep eating it or drinking it. Because they're like, what's in here? I'm like, pus and blood. They're like, oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
You're welcome.
So let's talk about, what's the common myth about a plant-based lifestyle, and can you debunk it?
I can totally debunk it.
Yeah, let's get those out of the way.
People always think that I don't get enough protein. I'm probably lacking in B12. And both of those statements are absolutely not true. I just had my blood drawn 2 weeks ago. My doctor sits me down and goes, Cassie, you realize your vitamins are very, very high. Well, thank you. Wow. She goes, your protein is also high. It's above normal. I stood up. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I stood up, put my hands up in the air like, woo! Yes! Can you get me that on recording? Because, can I get you recording you saying that? Because that's for all those haters out there that are trying to say I don't get protein with my plant-based diet.
Right.
It's high.
So let me ask you, what can you eat to get your protein?
Everything has protein in it.
And your iron, like, my diet is the worst. So you're schooling me today. I have the worst diet ever.
Today is developed to be schooled. I think protein is so easy. Everything has protein in it. A watermelon actually has 27, around roughly a medium-sized watermelon, roughly around has 27 grams of protein.
Oh, wow.
A watermelon. Yeah.
Who would have thought?
What do I eat? I eat a lot of watermelon. I love when it's watermelon season. Oh, it's on. Eat watermelon like nonstop.
Yeah.
But when it's winter like it is now in Oregon, we are not growing watermelons. there isn't watermelons growing here. It's 29 degrees outside this morning. It is not growing watermelons. So I eat a lot of beans.
Okay.
And quinoa is a very serious staple to my diet. Quinoa is amazing, and you can make so many things with it. It can replace noodles in a lot of dishes. It replaces rice in a lot of dishes. I make something called quinoa patties, which are phenomenal.
I've seen pictures of that on your Instagram. They look delicious.
Yes. They're so good.
Do you actually? I meant to ask you. Do you have a recipe for those on your website?
I have a recipe for those. Yeah, I put it up there. I'll put it on the Instagram.
So what else do you eat? Like, what's your day like when you wake up? What's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
I eat a lot. People are always surprised because I'm so tall and thin, but the reality is I eat so much food. I love to eat. I am a foodie. I love making it look. I love to cook. I love to make it look pretty, and then I love to eat it. It's a process for me. It's an art. It's an art. And I would say my morning starts off with a smoothie of some sort, protein, a protein shake, which is usually chocolate, banana, peanut butter, or I just do a regular fruit smoothie in the springtime. But I love smoothies in the morning.
Okay.
And then about 2 hours later, because I get up at 5, so 5:35. So 2 hours later, I like to have oatmeal. And I like my oatmeal to have and not like your grandma's oatmeal, okay? Not like that, no. Oatmeal, like real good with the nuts on there, some blueberries, little agave, good oatmeal. Not that shit your grandma used to make you and you were like, I am not eating this.
I know.
What is it? Not that.
Okay.
And then usually for lunch, I'll eat some sort of wrap. Okay. I like wraps a lot, and I love carbs. I'm not gonna try and lie. I love carbs. So we make a lot of bread, but we also buy bread, that's completely plant-based, vegan. Okay. And I mean, all bread is plant-based, but vegan because we don't want to have dairy in it. So we buy some bread, and then I can make a sandwich out of that. And I also I just posted a picture on my Instagram of one of my sandwiches and all my fruit that goes with it. That's my lunch. It's on my Instagram.
I know, I saw.
That is my lunch.
Okay.
That's what my lunch is.
Wow.
That's lunch for me. But when you eat plants and you eat a healthy diet like that, things digest faster, and your body knows what to do with it. And so you really do burn it off much quicker. I'm hungry all the time because of it. I am an active person, but in my day-to-day job, I sit for 6 hours.
Okay.
I do not get to get up. I'll be lucky if I can get up between clients and go pee. So I sit there.
You know what?
Yeah, I sit there.
Oh my God, you're crazy.
I can't even get up to go pee. I gotta hold it. I'm like, I gotta pee so bad. I intake a lot of calories though, and I'll tell you what though. When you start eating healthier, the calorie intake is very different. It's very different. Your body reacts very differently. And people are always like, you eat so much. How many calories are you intaking? I'm like, 2,000, 2,500, and I eat a lot of food.
That's crazy.
But it's because fruit and vegetables don't have that high calorie like a Starbucks.
Okay.
My girlfriend, she drinks a Starbucks. That's 800 calories. Yeah, girl, right there. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm drinking one now.
800.
Well, this one is a skinny one.
Oh, sure. I love excuses, too. I'm not going to lie. I drink Starbucks every once in a while. You know what I mean? Because I don't drink a lot of coffee, though. But when I do want a coffee and I do go to Starbucks, I know exactly what I'm ordering. I know exactly what I like. It crosses my mind. If I get a tall, like one of those little mini ones.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those? They look like mini ones. Yeah, I get one of those. Yeah, they're like, it's called a short.
Oh, okay.
It's the short. It's called short. Can I get a short? And they're like, okay, yeah. Because I like to have a little bit of, greatness in my life every once in a while. And I am a Starbucks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Starbucks fan. I love Starbucks, but I know I can't drink it every day. I know I shouldn't drink it every day.
True.
So finding that balance is what's important.
Right.
Once every 2 weeks, That's good. You know, I spoil myself every once in 2 weeks, especially if I'm going on a long drive. If I have to drive 6 hours, I'm like, woo, Starbucks today! Yes!
Oh, you're a nut, girl.
It's like chocolate cake.
So, what type of mindset? Let's go into the mindset. Do you have to stay consistent? Because I know, we all have our ups and downs. What do you do for yourself to keep you going?
You have to stay motivated. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for people, because I want to keep people motivated and inspired and energized to stay on their path, to stay healthy, to stay active. Be good. It's the only vessel we have. This is the only vessel you have. It doesn't matter if you can have heart surgery. You can have heart surgery to replace that heart. There's not a 100% chance that heart's going to work out for you, though.
Right.
But if you take care of the vessel you have, I honestly and truly believe that you will do great things. Your body can do great things. Humans are capable of magnificent things when we take care of our vessel. And I think for me, staying motivated and energized, I think for everyone it's different. Everyone has what motivates them and keeps them on their straight and narrow, And I would say for me, it's looking at gains, or it's watching The Game Changer. I love that. I love The Game Changer. You know why? Because I love hearing Arnold say that he's on a plant-based diet. I love that. I'm like, oh my God.
Is he now?
The one and only.
Are you serious?
The one and only. He's dead serious.
What?
One and only. The strongest men in the world. The strongest man competition.
Yeah.
The strongest men in the world are plant-based.
Oh, wow.
14 players from the Titans are on a plant-based diet. David Carter, who used to play football. I'm not sure if he's still playing. He was playing. He's a big dude. I mean, he's 300 pounds. Yeah. David Carter is. And you can look him up on Instagram. He's on a plant-based diet.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I swear. There are fighters, UFC fighters, plant-based diets. Football players, plant-based diets. Tom Brady, plant-based diet. Tom Brady. I don't watch football, but I know what that man's capable of.
I know.
And he's on fire.
I don't really like him. My husband loves Tom Brady, but whatever.
You know what? I don't like Tom Brady because he plays football, but I love Tom Brady because he is honest about being on a plant-based diet, and he's honest about being a football player.
That's true.
And for people to inspire young individuals, especially younger generations, through athletes that are being on a plant-based diet, are telling people, this is what's happening. I have way more energy. I feel better. My muscle is leaner. My muscle looks better.
Yeah.
And you can see pictures from athletes that were on a meat diet or not a plant-based diet to pictures of athletes on a plant-based diet. You can see the difference in their bodies. It's phenomenal. And you can hear all day about the energy. My cousin Sonia, she's constantly telling me, Cassie, how do you have so much energy? I cannot keep up with you. I don't know, man. I'm
you
ready.
do have a lot of energy. That's what I love about you.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little too much. I'm like, Cassie, what do you need to do? Calm down. Go meditate for 20 minutes and come back to this.
Oh my God. Well, with talking about, exercising, what do you do to keep, in shape?
Well, for a long time I lifted weights.
You did?
I'm actually getting back into that, but I hurt my shoulder.
Okay.
And it was just really hurting every time I was really tore up my shoulder cuff. Yeah. And now with my arm.
I know.
6 to 8 weeks with my wrist now. But I'm very active in the idea that I hike a lot.
Okay.
I've hiked, 12 miles in a day.
You have to join me on a hike when you come to Phoenix.
Absolutely. I would love that.
Yeah.
And I skateboard, which is how I fractured my wrists by skateboarding. But I do yoga. I love yoga. I've loved yoga since I was 17. And the reality is yoga's always been a base fitness for me, even when I wasn't lifting weights. You know, in between lifting weights and not lifting weights, I was doing yoga. And that's always been my go-to, really.
Yeah. We're talking about yoga, and that brings us to our next topic is about your little yoga program that you had going on over there.
Little yogis!
Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit? The little yogis.
Yes.
Little yogis.
I love kids. I love teaching yoga to kids.
How did that come about?
Yes. I was teaching my kids yoga at home in the living room because I think yoga and mindfulness is important, not just for adults going through what we go through daily, of course, but if we could have learned mindfulness and that peace of mind early on, I think that a lot of children would grow up with a different mindset.
100%.
And that became really important for me for my children. So I was like, I'm going to teach my kids yoga now, and I'm going to teach my kids how to meditate, and we're going to spend time together doing this, and it's going to become a real solid rock for us.
Yeah.
Well, my kids' school principal wanted to start teaching yoga at his school, and so he tried teaching yoga. And my child was like, my mom teaches us yoga all the time at home. She does yoga all the time. So I went to drop my kid off, and the principal was like, hey, I hear you teach yoga to your children. I said, oh, yeah, I've been doing yoga since I was 17. Love yoga. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, would you be interested in coming in at 8 in the morning and teaching the kids yoga before class?
I love it.
I was like, yeah. Well, then after the first year, the kids were like, we need a name. And I was like, we do need a name. What are we going to call it? And so this little girl was like, we should just call it Little Yoga. And then my son was like, aren't we yogis? It's not yoga when you're talking about people. It's yogi. And I was like, you know what? I think you guys just came up with something.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, it was just called Little Yogis. And we just did it all the time. It was like 4 years at the school. And then I taught it at a yoga studio here in Roseburg. And that went okay. You know, it went okay, but it loses the meaning for it when expectations of someone gets paid, right? And so I was voluntarily teaching yoga at the school. Mm-hmm. And that set my soul on fire. Mm-hmm. Being with them and teaching them yoga and being with them every day in the morning before school and teaching them and listening to them. Some kids would come to school with these issues in the morning, but they were just tired because they're little. Yeah. But to be that person, to be able to set that right for them and help them learn how to deal with that emotion they're feeling in the morning, that tiredness or frustration or irritation that they were feeling in the morning. Right. Or, you know, maybe mom and dad didn't wake up in the best mood, and that bleeds over. Yeah. But being able to help them and be there for them was phenomenal. But I do not like someone telling me how to do and how to teach yoga when it's my practice. Right. And when you get paid to do something, that's what happens. People start thinking that they're entitled to tell you how to do your job. Exactly. And that took the joy out of it for me, you know, and I want to teach it in a way, in a big way. Mm-hmm. But at this time, I don't know how or what way to do it about. And so hopefully that door will present itself. I believe all doors present itself. So someday maybe that door presents itself and I'll get right back to it.
Beautiful. Well, another exciting thing that you are doing right now with your family is the bus.
Yes.
How's that project going on?
Bus life.
The bus life.
The schooly life.
Yeah. Can you explain a little bit about how that idea came about in regards to the bus?
When I was getting off my medication and I became a vegan, I was like, I started meditating a lot and my mind got real clear. That's what happens when you stop eating. When you stop eating that food, you get that brain fog. Well, that brain fog is gone now. There's no brain fog.
Well, I need to start working on that like yesterday then.
Yeah. The brain fog, that stuff's like, I'm an energetic person, and I am a hyper person before I started my plant-based diet, so I forget things because I'm on 100 miles per hour. I'm like crazy. It's crazy. But I realized that I didn't want to pay to live in a big house, and I didn't want to pay to drive a fancy car, and I didn't want to pay to have fancy things. And I realized that I didn't want to do that because I was spending so much time outdoors, and I was spending so much time working on my diet that I was spending less time away from electronics and really realizing, wow, this is great. And this is where I want my money to go to. I want my money to go to gas to drive me to places.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can I live a life, that doesn't cost all this money? And everybody was like, there's no way. This is how society works. And I was like, no, it's not. So I was like, why not live in a bus? I heard people living in buses, and this was 4 years ago. Now being a schoolie is like a huge thing. Being a schoolie now is like super popular. You can YouTube it, Instagram it. Tons of people out there doing it now. Yeah. But back then there was like no one doing that.
Okay.
But I just saw this couple on Instagram. I was like, that's it. That's the answer. The bus. A bus.
A bus.
It moves. It travels. You can turn it into the greatest thing ever if you know how to build a house. Boom. I love it. And so my husband said, no way. Yeah, he said that. Not happening. So I just kept drilling him, no joke. For like 4 years, I drilled my husband about living in a bus. I don't want to pay these bills. I don't want to live this life. And I drove around a 1990 Honda Passport that I paid $800 for because I was like, this is how serious I am.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want this in my life. Like, yes, I make this amount of money, but I don't have to spend it on this.
Right.
And so he had an epiphany. We went on a trip up to Hood River in Oregon, and then we drove over to Bend in Oregon, and then we came back around to the North Umpqua. And it's this huge loop. If you look on a map, it's a loop. It's so beautiful. Everyone should do it in their lifetime. And on that journey, I took a nap under a tree, and he was sitting in a chair. And I took a nap. I was so tired. I was like, I'm going to take a nap right here in Hood River. It's so beautiful. Took a nap. Woke up, and he was like, what do you know about being a minimalist? And I was like, I know all kinds of stuff about minimalists. Let me tell you. We talked about it. No joke. We talked about it for like 3 hours. We drove to Bend. We talked about it some more. By the time we got home, we became minimalists. We literally had one drawer each full of clothing. We got rid of 99% of our dishes and utensils. We only had 5 plates, 5 bowls, 5 cups, 5 spoons. It got really serious really fast.
Wow.
Well, then you have a big house with nothing in it. There's nothing in it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I had a little bookshelf. I had a couch, one bookshelf. It was like, what do you do? What are we doing? We got all this space. And he was like, I think we should try this bus thing. Why not? Why not? And I was like, oh my God.
We did it.
Yes. So we sold everything in our house starting September 19th to October 19th when we left our house. We put in a 30-day notice, September 19th. Last day in our house was October 19th. Sold everything in our home besides the clothes that we owned and our children's clothes, of course. And we had both of our vehicles, and we just had a drawer full of clothes each, and that was it.
How did you find the bus?
Craigslist. Boom!
It never fails. Right. It never fails.
And they have bus fares. They have bus fares throughout the United States now. There's these things called bus fares. You can go, you can walk through schoolies. And we went to the Oak Ridge Bus Fair 2019, very first one they have ever held. And we drove straight to Lakeview, Oregon, and bought a bus after that. Wow. I mean, we were already sold on it because we had already sold everything we owned and whatnot, right? But June was the real deal. We had saved up money. We had sold all of our stuff, so we had money from what we had sold. We had saved up a bunch of money. The most important thing I would say about, if anybody's interested about going into schoolie life, is paying off debt. We were in debt. We had debt from credit cards and stuff like that. And we paid that off before we bought our school bus, because I was like, if we're minimalizing our clothes, let's minimalize our finances.
Right. Now you're talking.
Sense.
Yes.
It makes sense.
Yes.
So I did this huge thing. I put together this huge thing. I went on Excel. I just got real nerdy about it. And I just started paying off this, pay off this, pay off this. And every single paycheck that we made went to something. So debt-free right before June, went to the bus fair, saw what schoolies were about, and was like, that's it. This is what we're doing. Drove to Lakeview, Oregon, which is like the craziest, smallest town I've ever seen in my life, and bought the bus.
That's
2007
awesome.
International School Bus.
Wow. What did your family say to you guys when you told them, okay, we're about to sell everything and we're moving into a bus?
Well, they said some stuff. There was all kinds of things being said. Oh, people were like, what are you, people were like, what are you guys thinking? And first of all, I've always been a very free-spirited person, so everybody kind of knew. They were like, this is Cassie's idea. Anthony's just following Cassie because he loves her and that's what she wants. And the reality is, in the beginning, maybe, maybe in the beginning, sure. But once Anthony saw that financial freedom, and once he felt financial freedom, and once he felt what it was like to be more on a minimalist, and not have to worry about stuff and this and that.
Yeah.
It freed up so much of our life. And so when other people started seeing that, when my family started seeing it, they started getting real supportive. My parents have obviously been supportive. They allowed us to move into their house while we built, while we are still building our bus. We should be done in December, though. We should be done and we should live in it. But they've been supportive, you know what I mean? But yeah, people were like, you guys are some crazy hippies. Just a bunch of hippies. Yeah, maybe.
Cassie, are you originally from Oregon?
Yeah, I was born in Anchorage, Alaska.
Okay. Because I thought I heard Louisiana.
My family is from the South. So my family is originally from Louisiana and Arkansas. My mom and my grandma and all of them are from the South. Yeah.
Okay.
Me and my cousins are like the first generation. We're not from the South. Most of us have never even been to the South, really.
Okay.
But before that, yes, my grandma grew up in Louisiana. My whole generation, my generations are from Louisiana, Arkansas. Yeah.
Because you do have that Louisiana thing. You do.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
Have you been?
I'm confused.
It's a beautiful place.
No, I've never been.
And the food is so good.
That's probably why I love to cook.
Right.
But no, I've never been. But people do say that to me. I lived in Philadelphia for a short period of time, and people were always like, "Are you from the South?" And I was like, "No." And before I realized that my family was from the South, I always thought it was such a weird thing. Like, everybody's always saying that.
Yeah.
Because
when I first met you, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit it off with her. She has that Southern twang. And then you were like, I'm from Oregon. I'm like, what? I'm confused.
Well, what happened was when I lived in Philly, people were like, does everybody in Oregon talk like you? And I was like, for one, it's Oregon. And for two, no, they don't.
Oh, girl.
People were confused by me in Philly. They were confused. They were real confused.
Oh, man. I love it.
Like, this girl is as white as it gets, but her accent is saying something else. Her head bobbing, finger waving, got
right,
me thinking
exactly.
I
know.
And my husband says that too, and I said, that's that Southern girl right there. That's what that is. You know your family from the South when you got your head bobbing, finger waving. I'm all about that.
So to get back on the bus, right? How did you, I mean, are you guys doing it yourselves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are. No, we are not contractors. No, we do not have any contracting experience. This was learned.
Yes, it's so beautiful.
It was learned.
Yeah.
And the reality is, it's not hard. People are always like, oh, it must be so hard. It must be so hard. You know what? In the beginning, it was frustrating, I would say. Not hard. Frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you get frustrated because you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Right.
It was hard. It was, in the first month, I think me and Anthony argued so much. I mean, I walked out of the bus once like, give me 5. I need 5. That's how serious this is getting.
Oh my God. Well, at least you only have a couple of things. It looks like it's almost done.
Yeah, it is almost done.
Yeah.
It's so close to being done.
So are you going to travel after that, or are you going to just station the bus somewhere, or?
The bus is going to be stationed. I like to travel. I do travel, and I love to travel. But, which reminds me, I'm going to be in Arizona in March, so I'll see you then.
Yes, I can't wait to see you.
But he has a good job here.
Okay.
And jobs don't move, you know?
Yeah.
So he has a good job, and that's all there is to that. And so, you know, unless something better came up, which is highly unlikely.
Right.
So the bus will be stationary, and I will travel in my car or on plane.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to drive everywhere, but it's fine.
So what's next for you? Like, what new projects are you working on? You have a lot going on right now.
I have a lot going on. I have the bus going on, but I would definitely like to kick off the business by nutritional, plant-based coaching. Yeah. Especially for people that are looking to just get healthier. You know what I mean? Right. It's not for me. It's definitely, I mean, it will help people lose weight, but am I that person that's like, yeah, you know, lose weight? I can motivate that, sure. Right. I could promote that, sure. But I think when people are happy and when they take care of their vessel and they learn to love good food, the weight comes off. Yeah. The weight comes off.
Cassie, are you doing any consultation work?
Yeah, I'm doing consultations, 30-minute consultations for free. Okay. I have clients, you know, right now, and I'm working with that, and it's good. It's good. I do some on the phone, some in person. Okay. So that's good. I mean, someday I hope I'm just promoting good food by having a traveling food truck, but
right. It's going to happen. I'm waiting on that. Look, first of all, I'm waiting on that cookbook.
Yeah. See, somebody put out a cookbook. You know, someone else just said that to me. Cassie, put out a cookbook. Right. I was like, I never even thought about putting out a cookbook before in my life. I love to cook. Yeah. That has never crossed my mind.
I mean,
and now everybody's bringing it to my attention.
You can mix the bus, cooking in the bus with the cookbook. I mean, I see it all happening. It's right there for you to do it.
Well, and people do ask me about cooking, you know. Well, if you're living a plant-based diet, doesn't it take up more space? Don't you need more room? You see this refrigerator?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's not. It's an apartment fridge.
Oh, it looks big.
It's an apartment. Look at me stand next to it.
Well, you are tall. For me, I'm 5'2". I mean, it's like perfect.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you're 5'2". My fridge is definitely taller than you, but I'm 5'7". It's a little fridge. It's just an apartment fridge. Okay. It doesn't take a lot to cook. I am interested in doing a YouTube. That's the reality.
Oh, that would be nice.
It's been a year. I've really been thinking about the cooking and the YouTubing and motivating people through YouTube. Yeah. And really showing people what a plant-based active life looks like. That is really important to me, because people are like, how do you hike 10 miles in a day? What do you eat if you're not eating jerky? Well, first of all,
right.
why are you so stuck on protein? And second of all, you get your energy from carbs.
Yeah.
You gotta have some carbs in there. Peanut butter and jelly.
Right.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Oh, I can't wait to watch the videos. They're gonna be fun.
I would love to do a podcast about women in general, because I think women do this thing where they don't talk about life. They don't talk about certain things, like taboo things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like real stuff.
Like what?
Like when you go out with your girls, when you're married. I'm married. You know what I mean? So this is for people in relationships.
Yeah.
If I go out, my husband's like, oh, I need you to do something for me before you go out. You know what I'm saying? But if the guys go out, he doesn't go, I'm going out with the boys. I'm like, I need you to do something for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that.
Right.
No.
Right.
I say, okay, honey, have a good time. I hope you have fun. That's what I do. You know what women do? First they have to put on knee pads, and then they get to go. So that kind of stuff, you know, stuff that people don't really talk about.
Right.
That kind.
You would be perfect for it. You would be the perfect host for something like that.
Yeah, and that's what and I call it shop talk. Okay. Because working at a salon.
Oh, you hear everything.
You hear everything, girl. You don't even know. You go into a salon, you know a little bit. So when you go into a salon, you hear what you hear while you're there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you work there, girl, I'm telling you right now, I have heard the craziest things I've ever heard in my life at a salon.
Well, tell us a good one.
Like I don't know if you remember when that huge thing came out, when people were talking about grapefruit.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that was a very serious all-day conversation at the salon. All day long. Okay. All day long, we talked about grapefruit. Okay, girl? And we watched some videos. We did some other stuff.
Oh, my God.
People were busting up laughing. I wrote a sign and put, let's talk grapefruit, and then stuck it on the wall behind me. Yeah, it gets crazy. Yeah. And I think that those kind of conversations and that kind of laughter, and I think that kind of importance in conversation, women there, they feel comfortable. They feel like they can say things they don't normally say outside because in the salon, ain't nobody judging you.
Right.
Everybody's just trying to have a good time, get your nails did. So I think bringing that atmosphere to a podcast would be epic.
I love it.
That kind of laughter.
If you need any help in starting your podcast, let me know. I'm here for you.
I do need a lot of help because I was like trying to talk to my husband, like, I'm serious about this podcast thing. 2020, Shop Talk is coming to you.
Oh, I love it.
And then he was like, do you know what we have to do to start a podcast? And I was like, I have no idea. But we're going to do it.
It's
and
super
it's going to be
easy.
the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's easy.
Is it super easy? Don't lie to me.
No, it is. The only hard part about it is editing. I'm not a very techie person. But if you are, you shouldn't have any problem.
I love technology. I say that because I really do love technology. I try to keep myself away from it as much as possible, not be on it all the time.
Right.
But I think technology is great. I think it's fantastic, but it does have, with every great thing comes abuse, but that doesn't come because technology is abusing itself. Mm-hmm. People abuse technology just like they do everything else. People abuse chocolate cake.
Right. I know I do.
I may or may not have been one of those people.
Well,
chocolate cake.
Before we wrap everything up, is there anything else that you would like to add or discuss that we haven't talked about today?
I don't think so.
We covered a lot.
Yeah, we covered a lot. I think it's just important for people to stop worrying about what society thinks about you and start following what you want.
Yeah.
Follow who you are and what you want, because society will wait for nobody. And society really doesn't give a shit.
Right.
People may say things, people may act a certain way towards you because you live a certain lifestyle, but it's only because they also wish they had something that you have. If somebody's being rude or mean or saying things like that, because the reality is either one, they're a narcissist, which makes them a little crazy, or two, they just want what you have and they just don't know how to do it.
Right. 100%.
And I've ran into that. I've ran into that, that judgment of my lifestyle, but it is what it is. You still have to do you.
Yes.
You do you, boo. You do you.
So where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, they can find me at Concrete Foodie.
Okay.
And, or they can email me at mindful.rebellion18@gmail.com.
Okay. Awesome. It was a pleasure talking to you today. You always make me laugh. No matter what.
My mom once told me she thought I should be a comedian. I'm pretty sure you should have been a comedian. I'm like, I don't know.
I can't wait to see you. So when are you coming down?
March.
Okay.
I'll be down there for like 4 days. But I was thinking about you, and I was thinking about Donna, and I was thinking about Natasha, and I was like, I got to get these girls together, and we're gonna have brunch.
Yes. Yes.
You ever heard that True Kitchen? That True Kitchen in Scottsdale?
I don't think I've been there.
Oh my God. They serve kind of like farm to table kind of lifestyle. So they serve chicken. Okay. But they have some vegan dishes there.
Good.
Blow your mind. Blow your mind.
Okay.
I want to eat there every day I'm there. I'm going to eat there.
Okay. I'm going to have to check it out then. Make it happen. I'm there, bro.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, so I'm going to set up a date for everybody to be there. We're all going.
I know. Everybody's doing great ever since the Powerhouse event. And I'm glad
I think everybody's happy about that conference.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was good.
I'm so glad I went.
Yeah, it was like crying. You were like, you're like crying, you're laughing, you're standing, you're dancing, you're clapping.
Yes. Everything
in one conference happened that day.
All right, honey. Well, we're going to wrap this up.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, absolutely. All right, love. Talk soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Please visit the website at www.leveluptribes.com. And please subscribe to the podcast and share with your family and friends. Be sure to tune in to our next episode. Catch you all next time, my beloved tribes.